Hi, I'm Martin Warwick, reporting from the Small Cells World Summit here in London's Docklands, and I'm talking with Phil Kendall, who is the Executive Director Global Wireless Practice with Strategy Analytics. Phil, what's the business case for carrier Wi-Fi?
There is and there isn't. There's a business case. It's not essentially playing out the way that people would have expected. So broadly the business case is often built on the cost savings by carrying traffic over Wi-Fi versus the main macro cellular network. The reality for many operators is that the revenues are falling on the data side of a business while they're trying to do that. So in many respects it's almost a theoretical business case. It's an academic business case, and there's no sort of dollars flowing through on that. So we're seeing a lot of work from operators to try and understand how do we create a new revenue stream. We can't justify this purely on the basis that we are not spending money elsewhere. We need to justify it on the basis of creating a discrete revenue flow from Wi-Fi, and it's certainly not coming from selling Wi-Fi minutes or megabytes of data. It seems to be more around the advertising, marketing business models.
So how's Wi-Fi being used by telcos, especially alongside small cells?
There still seems to be a lot of discussions about where these two technologies play out. The small cell focus over the last 18 months has moved out of residential space and looking more at enterprise and even sort of public area, outdoor small cell services, whereas Wi-Fi is much more about the enterprise and the residential space. So to a certain extent we see a little bit of separation in the two markets at the moment. They're playing, or their principal focus, given on what they can deliver, is in slightly different areas. But there are visions for many players in the hall about sort of bringing them together, putting Wi-Fi on every small cell, or having little small cell modules that can clamp onto the Wi-Fi access point to sort of to bridge the two together. But it's going to be a long process, and almost more because the small cell side is taking longer to take off than we would have expected. So you've got those millions of Wi-Fi access points out there, and significantly smaller numbers of small cells. So
how can Wi-Fi be used, do you think, to drive new revenue channels?
It's interesting, we've been speaking to a few sort of Wi-Fi carriers here over the last couple of days, and there does seem to be a move towards the venue owner almost as the focal point of Wi-Fi installation. So whether it's a supermarket or a coffee shop, what can we deliver to that venue owner to allow them to get value out of the service? The other significant revenue play or cost saving, depending on which way you look at it, is around the sort of the international roaming and even the sort of the domestic roaming business model there. So using Wi-Fi as a means of delivering a better or cheaper roaming experience, or encouraging people when they do roam to keep the data services switched on, rather than many users today, they got off that airplane and they make sure data's turned off on their device. So.
And how can carrier Wi-Fi be used to leverage the mobile roaming experience?
We modelled a few markets in terms of sort of roamers coming into countries from a mobile data and a Wi-Fi perspective, and what we're seeing particularly in Europe is about 85+% of roaming data traffic is actually going over Wi-Fi rather than cellular networks. So users will switch off mobile before they leave their country or when they get in a new country, and they will actively seek Wi-Fi for their services now, and they will spend money on that Wi-Fi, and most of that money will go to the hotel or the coffee shop or the local provider. So their home mobile operator is just almost completely unable to extract value out of that 85% of traffic that their users are going abroad and generating. So there is a revenue opportunity there by either, as I said, encouraging more people to keep data services switched on because they can get the Wi-Fi as part of that mix, or in terms of selling bigger bundles of of roaming data.
Phil Kendall, thank you.
Thank you.